Hello, this is Brian Hegney, instructor of game design here at High Point University. So we've learned how to make a door, we've learned how to make a platform raising and lowering, and now I want to talk about something that you are going to want to do eventually, even if you don't know that you want to do it yet. You are going to want to communicate between blueprints. So for instance, let's kind of look up here. When this door raises, like that, you might want that action to fire off an event for this platform to like blink or have some sort of an effect or something like that to kind of show your player what's going on. So you are going to want to communicate between these two blueprints. And that's what this lesson is kind of going to go over. So let's go ahead and just take a look at this. Number one, we are going to need to load some content first, and this is a good time to talk about that. When I started this template, I actually started it with no starter content. You can see my content here. It's just the first person template, and there's no folder called starter content. Normally there could be, and so I want to just show you here that I can always add that using the add new button. Now if you have starter content, that's fine. I don't. I'm going to click add new, come up to add feature or content pack. And we can always add in either another template, like the puzzle template, the rolling ball template. Any of these we can add. I'm looking for the content packs, and I'm going to look for the starter content. Add project. Or add to project. And it's going to import. I'm going to pause this while it imports. Haha. Oh, I'm unpausing it. I guess it added the starter content already. I've been waiting and waiting. This window doesn't close, evidently. Okay, so I'm going to close that. Um, all right, so what did I do here? I just added a whole bunch of stuff, right? And we'll get into some of this stuff later. What I particularly added was a couple particle effects that we'll kind of use to get our attention. Maybe I'll use the explosion one. I'm not going to drag it in yet. You'll see how I'll use it in a moment. For right now, let's just check out the architecture. Nothing, I actually don't think there's anything too amazing in here. We'll talk about how we add a few things and maybe the next video. For right now, I do want to get to blueprint communication. So let me go to my own folder, BCH Blueprints, and I'm going to open up the BH Platform BP, which I want to put a particle effect here. And I'm just going to use a standard particle effect, just the beginner asset. And I'm going to click on default scene route. In my components view, I'm going to add component, and I'm actually going to choose particle system just to talk about, I guess just to start, just note that Niagara particle system is the newest versions. I just had a training on this summer, so it was a lot of fun, but I'm just going to use this particle system for right now because it's the quickest thing we can do. Oh, I already did particle system. I must have hit this twice. Okay, right click, delete the second one. I just want one. Is that part of the platform? No, it's not. I actually want it to be on top of the platform. Yes. So I do want that particle system to just sit on the platform. It's going to disappear, but whatever. I'll just put it as a child of the platform. So with this particle system, I can just click it. Epic Games just supplied us with a couple starter templates. So I'm going to choose P Explosion, and we should be able to see that momentarily. And if we scroll down here, yeah, if you scroll down in the details panel when you have that particle system selected, there is a button down at the bottom called activation, and if you click auto activate, you can see what it does, right? You can see that kind of explode. So what we're going to do, I'm going to uncheck that because I'm going, if that's checked, it'll start when the scene loads, and I actually want it to start about when the door is halfway up. So I don't want to auto-activate that just yet. Okay, I just want it in there. Now I'm going to compile it and save it, and that's all. And right now, do I want the explosion? Sorry, let me... I actually want P-Fire. Let's do P-Fire. Because the explosion is going to go away, and if I do P-Fire, I think it'll stay there. I am going to raise it up so I can see it a little more. And then maybe when we get close enough, we'll actually turn it off. Because you might think, I don't want to go on that. Okay, so I'm going to uncheck auto-activate so we can't see it. Compile, save it. All right. And so that fire is a part of this blueprint, right, of the platform. But I want to activate it when this raises upward. So let's see how we do that. I'm going to go into my BH door blueprint. And what I'm going to do is actually something I've never done before. So I've never done this quite before because I told you I wanted this door to raise up, right? And halfway, when it wasn't quite finished raising yet, I was going to fire off that fire particle effect. So how do we do that? There's definitely a when finished. Remember, there's this open door timeline is actually raising that. There's when finished, but I actually don't want to wait till I'm finished because I feel like people are going to run into the scene through the door before it's finished opening. And so I want to catch that player off guard a little bit with my fire. So I want to make sure I do it halfway. So how can I do this? What I'm going to do is add to this function of the blueprint. Remember, what this does is when I overlap the collision box of the door, it asks, you know, hey, did the character do it? Yes, okay. And then it goes to play and it updates. And it's moving the door to a new location based on the alpha. And this alpha is a value from 0 to 1. So halfway is going to be 0.5 because you all know 1 divided by 2 is a half, right? So what I'm going to do is every tick it's shooting this off. And what I'm going to do is say, well, I'm going to do branch first of all. Every time it finishes placing that one little tiny bit further along this lerp, I'm going to check, hey, is this value from this timeline, what am I going to do? I'm going to say greater than equals. I'm going to say, is this value greater than or equals to 0.5? Now, I don't like to do equals 0.5, and I've heard other programmers don't either, because if I ask, hey, is this float value, raised door, once it equals 0.5, do something? Well, guess what? Sometimes 0.5 is actually equal to 0.4999999999999. And so in programming, what we want to do, and that's so true, that's why you'll notice that sometimes the door position, even if you set it at 200, there are times when it actually says 199.999999. Like, in computers, there's just a little bit of weird inconsistencies, and we just have to put up with it. So the moment it gets to be greater than or equal to 0.5, you know, that might be 0.50001, right? The moment that happens, we are going to fire off something. But guess what? We are only going to do it once. Because if I did it every time, if I said, you know, connect to the platform blueprint and fire the thing, well, it's going to keep happening for the whole second half. So that's why there's that do once command, right? And if we ever need to reset it, we can. It's not going to start closed. It's going to start open. And what are we going to do? We are going to connect to that other blueprint. Well, that other blueprint's name is BH Platform BP. So I am going, in order to communicate with that, I am going to say, get all actors of class. All right. And this function is going to just get them all in the scene, right? Right now there's only one. And I'm going to have to select that class. And if I click the Select Class drop-down button, I'm going to say BH Platform BP. And what I can do here is, just to show you what happens, I'm going to say print string. I'm going to grab this array, and this little checker box symbol is supposed to show, like, hey, this is a series of objects. It's gonna export a string of stuff, actors. I am going to say, oh, this is what often we're gonna do, is drag out all of these and say for each. And what that for each loop is going to do, it's going to go through each actor. And if I have 10 of these platforms, it's going to go through all 10 of them in a loop, okay? And so that loop body, actually this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to alt-click print string. I'm putting the print string here. For every bunch of those, it's going to say, I'm going to ask to print the array element's display name. There we go. That's all I'm doing. Again, it is, let's scoot this over so you can see it. And it's asking where it is on the timeline. Let's see if this works. Oh, it didn't do it. Why didn't you do it? Okay, I'm gonna pause you and figure out why you didn't do it. Ha ha ha. Okay, I think I know what I did, and I didn't even test it yet. That's how that's how confident I am. I totally forgot to match up this get all actors of class with the for each loop. Duh, Hegney. Okay, let's compile, save that, make sure I did that right. It's gonna fire off, yes, BH platform underscore BP. That's its name. Now what I wanted to see here is what would happen if I had two. So I'm gonna alt click, or I'll hold down alt, move this to create two. And now I'm going to play. Will it fire off two? Yes, they fire off two and they have unique names. And so what I'm going to do here is, what if I do have two and I only want to make one of them have the the fire? So that's what I want to talk about right now. But you know what? No, let's just go ahead and, we're running out of time for this one, so I'm just going to go ahead and have them fire off the fire, okay? Okay, so what I need to do is, and I just tried to do it once, and I actually used the wrong activate key. So if you recall, I don't have it activated in the BH platform and the BH door BP. I did a for each loop, and for each array element, right, when it returns that platform, I'm going to say get particle system. I don't have to finish typing what I say, just get particle. And this system, what I'm going to say, because it's not activated yet, I'm going to say activate. And what I did was I set auto activate. I don't remember if this was on this video, but I did it, whether it was paused or still playing. And auto activate, I set it, but it wouldn't light. And the reason it wouldn't light was because auto activate only works in the very beginning when the blueprint is compiled. So I need to remember to do activate. Now once I activate it, now it's going to start right up. And you can see that if we play the thing. There, those fires go there. Start. Now it's a little bit, I should do it 0.75. So I'm going to make this value from 0.5 to 0.75. I think that's going to be a little bit better. Yeah! Oh, that's so good. In the next video, we'll talk about how we can actually determine which one of these we want to start with the communication. All right, bye.